Hello, my dear friends. My record keeping has gotten messed up somehow. I was keeping records of what books we've read and what books we haven't read, and it's mixed up. I've got books marked read that we haven't read, and I've got books unread that are marked read. So I, I don't know what to do. I thought we had been through Nahum already. My records show we have. And I read the Bible so much that I've got a lot of it memorized. And so reading through Nahum this morning, it's so familiar, like I have read it recently, but I don't remember reading it recently. So I'm gonna start with Nahum this morning, and if I have read it recently, y'all let me know, and I'll delete it and give you a different one. I'm just confused right now. It's a good book. It's a real good book. I just don't know if I've given it to you already. And I thought the book before it, Micah, I thought I'd given it to you, but it's not marked either. So I don't know. I guess I need to go back and listen to my own videos. One of y'all caught me several days ago. I had the title for a video messed up, and somebody pointed that out to me, and I went and looked at it, and sure enough it was, so I fixed it. And then a day or two later, somebody else pointed out one that I had the title wrong, so it ain't working too good right now. All right, we're going to start Nahum, and if I have done it, it would have been recently, like within the last week. Y'all let me know. I looked at my videos and it's not listed there, but that doesn't mean anything because I get titles mixed up too. All right, the Book of Nahum. The burden of Nineveh. Nineveh, remember Jonah, the guy that got swallowed by the big fish, was told to go and prophesy to them of their destruction if they didn't repent and turn back to God. And they did. After Jonah went to them and told them that God was just that far from destroying them if they didn't repent, they repented. But that didn't last long. And this is Nahum now sharing a vision with them from God, a vision that God gave to Nahum. So let me stop my world famous rambling and get started. I just want to give you a brief introduction here. The burden of Nineveh, the book of the vision of Nahum the Elkoshite. And nobody knows where Elkoshite is. Nobody has been able to find it on ancient maps. God is jealous, and the Lord revengeth, and he is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and obviously they are an adversary. And he reserveth wrath for his enemies. Someday I need to give y'all scriptures on God's wrath. God is love. God is the definition of love. But God is reserving wrath for those that reject him. And friends, it ain't going to be pretty. Okay, I've wasted enough time, but I'll probably waste some more. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebuketh the sea, and maketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languisheth, and Carmel, and the flower of Lebanon languisheth. The mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burned at his presence, yea, the world and all that dwell therein. Do y'all notice that? All his creations shake and tremble at him, except humans. All of his creations, except humans, obey him. We've seen several examples lately of the oceans, the seas, obeying Jesus. I mean, he would tell them to stop, and just like that, they stopped. Not humans. I don't blame him for his anger and fierceness. Who can stand before his indignation, and who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. And I don't think there's a whole lot of them that trusts in him. But with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. What do ye imagine against the Lord? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time, for while they be folden together as thorns, and while they are drunken as drunkards, they shall be devoured as stubbles fully dry. And that's some serious devouring. There is one come out of thee that imagineth evil against the Lord, a wicked counselor. Thus saith the Lord, though they be quiet and likewise many, yet thus shall they be cut down, then he shall pass through. Though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more. For now I will break his yoke from off thee, and will burst thy bonds in sunder. And the Lord hath given a commandment concerning thee, that no more of thy name be sown. Out of the house of thy gods will I cut off the graven image, and the molten image I will make thy grave, for thou art vile. Behold, upon the mountains the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace. O Judah, keep thy solemn feast, perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off. That is something I don't want, something you don't want, is to be utterly cut off. He that dasheth in pieces is come up before thy face. Keep thy munition, watch the way, make thy loins strong, fortify thy power mightily. For the Lord hath turned away the excellency of Jacob as the excellency of Israel. For the emptiers have emptied them out, and marred their vine branches. The shield of his mighty men is made red. The violent men are in scarlet. The chariots shall be with flaming torches in the day of his preparation, and the fir trees shall be terribly shaken. The chariots shall rage in all the streets. They shall jostle one against another in the broad ways. They shall seem like torches. They shall run like the lightnings. He shall recount his worthies. They shall stumble in their walk. They shall make haste to the wall thereof, and the defense shall be prepared. Bam. The gates of the rivers shall be opened, and the palace shall be dissolved. And Huzab shall be led away captive. She shall be brought up, and her maids shall lead her as with voices of doves, tabering upon their breasts. But Nineveh is of old like a pool of water, yet they shall flee away. Stand, stand, shall they cry, but none shall look back. Bam. Take ye the spoil of silver, take the spoil of gold, for there is none end of the store, and glory out of all the pleasant furniture. She is empty and void and waste, and the heart melteth, and the knees smite together, and much pain is in all the loins, and the faces of them all gather blackness. Where is the dwelling of the loins, and the feeding place of the young lions, where the lion, even the old lion, walked, and the lion whelped, and none of them made afraid? The lion did tear in pieces enough for his whelps, and strangled for his illnesses, and filled his holes with prey, and his dens with raven. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will burn her chariots in the smoke, and the sword shall devour thy young lions, and I will cut off the prey from the earth, and the voice of thy messengers shall no more be heard. Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Noise of a whip, and the noise of the rattling of the wheels, and of the prancing horses, and of the jumping chariots. The horseman lifteth up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, And there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses because of the multitudes of the whoredoms of the well favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nation thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee. Sound like they already got it to me. And make thee vile, and will set these as a gazing stock. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for thee? Art thou better than Populus? No. That was situate among the rivers that had the waters round about it, whose rampart was the sea, and her wall was from the sea. Ethiopia and Egypt were her strength, and it was infinite. Put and Laban were thy helpers. Yet she was carried away, she went into captivity. Her young children also were dashed in pieces at the top of all the streets, and they cast lots for her honorable men, and all her great men were bound in chains. Thou also shalt be drunken, thou shalt be hid, thou also shalt seek strength because of the enemy. All thy strongholds shall be like fig trees, and the first ripe figs. If they be shaken, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater. Behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women. The gates of thy land shall be set wide open unto thine enemies. The fire shall devour thy bores. Draw thee water for the siege, fortify thy strongholds, go into clay, and tread the mortar, make strong the brick kiln. There shall the fire devour thee, the sword shall cut thee off, it shall eat thee up like the cankerworm. Make thyself as the cankerworm, make thyself many as the locust. Thou hast multiplied thy merchants above the stars of heaven. The cankerworm spoileth and flieth away. They crowned are as locusts, and thy captains as the great grasshoppers, which camp in the hedges of the cold day. But when the sun ariseth, they flee away, and their place is not known where they are. Thy shepherds slumber, O king of Assyria. Thy nobles shall dwell in the dust. The people is scattered upon the mountains, and no man gathereth them. There is no healing of thy bruise, thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap the hands over thee, for upon whom hath not the wickedness passed continually. And that was the entire book of Nahum. I was thinking about doing some more, but I think I'm done. Love y'all, friends, and God bless each and every one of you. Y'all stay happy, healthy, and safe out yonder, okay? And pray for each other. Pray for this channel. I don't care about numbers. I keep telling you that, and I'm serious. But my subscriber count is dropping rapidly, and I don't know why. I get maybe because of my foolishness. I don't know, but I want everybody to know Jesus. That's why I come on here every day, doing what little I can to point people to Jesus. I want my numbers going up for that reason. It's all for Jesus, not for me. So I don't know. I don't know why it's going down. It's going down fast. Anyway, that's it for now. God bless you, friends. I love y'all.